Hi, Phillip, Mountrose here, the Holistic Dr. Phil. Here's an interview I did with Christine Kane, who is an accomplished singer and coach, about some of the misconceptions concerning success.
Okay, so when I coach people, one of the biggest resistances they have, especially when they're in that creativity or healing mindset, is if I am any good at what I'm doing, and I'm a songwriter, and so I know this phenomenon. If I'm any good at what I'm doing, then everyone would flow to me. Word would get out, my energy would be just good enough, my creativity would be just good enough. For songwriters, they get triggered by the whole myth of, this overnight success thing. And I see for healers, there is this thing that says if I was any good, word would get about town, and so I shouldn't have to market. And if I market myself, if I put myself a little more in the spotlight, what I'm telling people is, wow, word's not getting out, and so therefore I'm not successful. And so what I always say to people is that is part of the PR. It's a very nice PR tactic to sort of say everyone is discovered. But anyone I know, whether they're a songwriter or a healer or any kind of business, they have that one foot in marketing, and they are willing to put themselves in the spotlight. And that's my key thing, is spotlight is different for everybody, but you have to be at least a little bit willing to put yourself out there in the spotlight and claim your expertise, claim who you are, and not resist that.
What's the biggest mistake you've noticed that you've made or others make, or a common pitfall?
Taking everything personally. That same phenomenon of, if I was any good, they would all find me. If I was any good, it would all be flowing in. If I was really spiritual and tapped in, it would all be flowing, because that's the law of attraction. And it's taking the universe so personally and not realizing that one of the things we as artists, creatives, healers, and that right brain mindset, one of our big life lessons is to learn to step a little bit into that left brain world and operate in that world, because those are the people you're doing a lot of work with healing. And if you can't speak their language and you're so busy taking everything personally and thinking that the world should be working on your behalf because you're thinking good thoughts, then you're doing them a disservice, and you're doing yourself a disservice too.
Great tip. Thanks.
Thanks.
Some great insights there from Christine. And that idea of being the overnight wonder because you're in your element and you're being creative, well, it usually doesn't happen that way. Many people who are very successful, that are well known, it took them many years to do so. And it was a series of steps in getting out in the limelight, doing a little bit of stretching and learning marketing, so they really could share their gifts and creativity with the world. I remember talking to a holistic practitioner, and she said her business had kind of dried up, and I asked, how do you get clients? How do people find out about you? And she said, word of mouth. Now, she was very good at what she did, but just simply relying on word of mouth is usually not enough. You need the marketing. You need to learn about how to do that effectively, strategically, in a way that works for you. And then you will get your gifts and creativity out in the world. And when you look back at your life, you'll be happy. You'll say, I did all that I can. I made a difference. I shared my gifts and creativity with the world. So go for it, one step at a time. And this is Phillip Mountrose of the Holistic Dr. Phil, wishing you the heart and soul of success.